Okay, now we are going to use Adobe InDesign CC 2015 to create a postcard for the pizza store. So when you first launch Adobe InDesign CC, you are going to get a welcome window. On the first tab, you have like two columns. The one on the left side is you can create a new document. You can create a print document or web document or digital publishing like an ebook. And we talk about the print document, web document. The difference is the print document uses CMYK and is a 300 dpi. The web document is 72 dpi, use RGB color mode. Or you can open recent if you have something already created in InDesign. You can open from here. Now I'm just now going to use this panel. By default, on Mac, on Windows, this screen is always, we call the application frame. Frame is always on. But on Mac, actually by default, this application frame is not on. So you have to go to Windows, check this application form to turn it on. And first thing comes first, we are going to set up the workspace as usual. So when we have this toolbar, we go to Window Workspace, you select the Essential. The toolbar, I want to be the 2 columns, so you just one click, make this the 2 column instead of 1. And actually this thing, if you want, you can make it float anywhere you want. If you want this to be on here, you just drag and put it here. If you want 1 column, just click that. You can even make it horizontal if you want. And what I need here, if you see the blue line, that means it's going to stick here, which I like this option. And the one on top is the property window. For instance, if I have this selection tool select, everything appear on the top is going to be related with this selection tool. If I change to the type tool, notice everything on the property window is changed to be a character. The first one is a character property. The second one is a paragraph property. It's everything related with a type tool. If you want this to be on the bottom, you can do that. If you want this to be middle, you can do that. But I kind of like a personal like it to be on the top because this way is easy to use. So I'm going to make it, just make it back. Going to change it. Going to select this. Make it a double column. Make it stick here. Going to make it change here. Put on here. Make sure the blue line is available. Okay, change here. And I need several things open here. I need layers. So I put it here, and underneath the link, because everything in the InDesign actually is, if you have the images, it's going to be linking file. It's not going to be like Illustrator or Photoshop. You can embed it there. It's a link with this document. Yeah, let me see the color. I need the color, which you can put it here. There's already here. If you want to just click that. And another thing I need is the pages, because actually InDesign is very good to make the multiple page documents. That's their specialty. And the stroke, for sure, stroke and the color. I'm going to put in here stroke and the color, page and the style, character style, which I like character style and the paragraph style. Put it here. Something I need to use, text wrap, which I like this as well. Tools, which is this two, character type and the character. Okay. Paragraph. And I need the tables, yeah. This link file is here, and I have the layers. If you want to arrange it, you can put it here. Arrange the documents. Link info, right now I don't need it, I just close. When you click this little triangle, that means you can close this and collapse it, show all the information. So far I think I'm good with this. So I'm going to the workspace. I'm going to type this new workspace and make sure you check the panel location and the manual customization, and you put your name on it. Okay, so every time when you come to InDesign, you can just simple go to your own workspace. This way it saves you a lot of time to do that. So that is a setup workspace in InDesign. And the next thing, we are going to create a postcard by using InDesign. Like I said before, the workspace in Photoshop is called the canvas. Workspace in Illustrator is called the artboard. The workspace in InDesign is called the spread. So you go to File, go to New. You can also have the shortcut is Command N. When this dialog opens, let's talk about this. We have a print, and if you click down, we have a web. So notice what change. If I have a print, if I have a web, the page size, they automatically change to the pixel. The print is this PO means pica. By default, InDesign is using the pica instead of inch or centimeter. Digital publishing is a pixel, like an iPad, iPhone, or even you can type your own size. Like for instance, if you want a 560 pixel, you can do that. And make sure you turn on this preview so you can see what is going to happen. So it's just a personal thing. I do like use inches instead of pica. If you only change this, for instance, I know the letter size 8.5 by 11, 8.5 inches by 11 inches. Okay, I change this document size to inches and I say okay. But when I close this document, the little document thing is here. When I close this, I create a new document, it's still going to be show PyCast. So I don't want to do that. I want to go to the InDesign. If I change from here, it's going to be the same thing. Let me see if I can change from the preference. You go to the channel, type, interface, units. Yeah, go to units and you change from there. And I said I want inches, horizontal and vertical. I say OK. Now when I go to open new document, there you go. Everything is inches instead of pica. Okay, that is one thing. And what does this mean? Number of pages. So like I said, InDesign is very, very good at making multiple pages documents, especially in the book publishing industry. So if you already know, like for instance, this magazine or this book is going to have 100 pages, then you put it 100 pages here, InDesign going to create 100 pages for you automatically. Let's see if that happens. Look, when I click these pages and you go through down, you get 100 pages. How good is that InDesign created for us? But right now we don't need 100 pages. And start page. By default, all the documents start from page 1. So you can always say that start from page 8. So that's okay. And because for like, if you work as a teamwork, for instance, Diana is going to create the book, chapter book. So she's going to work from page 1 to 8. And Luis is going to start from 8 to 15. So when Luis is going to start his work, he's going to put 8, or he's going to put 9, start page 9, number 9, instead of start page from number 1. So when you set up the page number later on next week, we are going to talk about how to set up page number. So the page number is for Luis chapter is going to start from page 8 of page 9. Okay, the page size you can create here. You can also use a customer size, which we are going to create a postcard. So I'm going to do 7 inches by 5 inches. And the column is just a guide to tell you how many columns you are going to put in your documents. So right now I have 1 column. If I want 5, look, then you get 5 different columns. And the gutter is the size in between the column. For instance, right now is 0.167. So if I put a 0.125, make it smaller. Okay, now I put it back to 1. Margin is talking about the space in between the guideline, the column guideline, to the edge of the page. The top, I'll see, 1.25, because this one is linked, so it automatically has 1.25. If it's unlinked, especially this option is very important for the book publishing, because for inside they have a special bending part. You have to leave some space. So the inside need to have more space than the outside. Right now I just link them. So last week we talked about the bleed and the slug. The bleed is in printing, is the edge, is the stuff, artwork is beyond the edge, okay? So normally I give 0.125 for the bleeding. Notice there's a bleed guideline is a red mark showing. What is slug? Slug is some information you put for print work. For instance, you want this page to have a when the printer print this, you want them to say that page is made for 2016 documents, is not going to be published until next year. Those notes for the printer to read, for your teamwork to read. So when the document, when the print going to be the final printing, is not going to print it on your book or on your document. But if you want to just print it for the review, you can print a slug. For instance, I have some like 0.125. Okay. Slug I want to put only on the top. I said okay. So notice the area you can put your note is here. That is how you set up InDesign pages. The next thing I want to talk about is, let me close this. When you create a new document, 7 inches, 5 inches. If you want to create a magazine or anything has a like binding and has a 2 pages facing each other, you need to check this called facing pages. For now, this one is for the postcard, so I don't need to have a facing page. So you need to uncheck this. Okay? Column 1, the margin 1.25, bleeding 1. Okay, slug. Okay, we put it here. And another good thing in InDesign is you can see these settings. Next time when you open, it's there. Let me save this. It's called the postcard.
Professor, can you just give me 1 minute? I just want to take a picture of this menu.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. And you say okay. So I just want to turn off this and I show you how it's going to be. Turn off this document and next time I go to the new document and say, oh no, I remember last time I saved it. Look, when you go down here, this one saved. All the setting is here. It is a great thing for InDesign to have. You saved this, okay? And we use the command 0 to fit document in window. If you want to use the command minus, you can zoom in, command plus, zoom out, and also in InDesign, command 1 is 100 actual size, command 2 is a 200, command 3 is even bigger, command 4 is 400, okay? That also is because InDesign is working on a lot of details, a lot of pages, so the zoom in option, zoom out option is very important in InDesign. So also you can find it here, zoom level, you can select from here to say, okay, I want 100 instead of 400. Another thing I want to talk about is set guideline. So a lot of time you need to work on the document who needs the guideline. For instance, I want to create a guideline. to here, where the 1 inch is, and put it here 1 inch. And now I change my mind. You can just be selecting the inch and the guideline is said, okay, I want 2 inches. You just press enter. The guideline move to the 2 inches. Okay. You can hold the same thing to create some guideline for vertical, horizontal. Is the same way. Okay. So another concept I need to talk about is in InDesign, the stuff you're going to use, for instance, the images and text, they have a frame. Frame and the content, especially for image, are 2 separate things. It's different than Photoshop and Illustrator. Completely different concept. You select the frame, you edit the frame, and edit the content. Let me get rid of the guideline. And also another thing is in Photoshop, you can put image inside an Illustrator, you can embed image. InDesign is all linking files. So when you want to put image, you say file, instead of copy and paste or something, open image, you go to file, you go to place. Let's find the TIFF file we just create. This file says open. Notice there is a little icon. There are several ways to place image. One way, you can just click it. That's really big image. Another way, when you go to place, drag and put into the place you need. Or there is another way. You create a frame first. You set up layout first, and then you go to place, and then you go to the image you want it. And looks like it doesn't fit in this frame. It's okay, we can ask them to fit in the frame later on. Notice if you select this image, there is a big donut thing. I call it, looks like a big donut. You click this. Notice you select the image inside the frame and you shrink this down. That is a one image there. Okay? You can, if you look, that is a frame. It's separated than image. You can shrink the frame down, increase the frame down, nothing to do with image. Okay? When you select them together, then you move them. For instance, I put it here. That's my one image. The other image, another one, please. I want this to be bigger, smaller. I want to change this, move this up. Notice the guideline, the blue guideline is showing you. Move this. I'm going to place my little chef. Okay, here. Going to just a simple use the text. To create a text frame. Going to say AG pizza. So next week, we just set up the simple stuff for this AG pizza. Next week, we are going to continue adding all the styles and the logo and the colors and the content to finish this AG pizza postcard.
It's a homework.